Are you ready to ride the AI wave? Because it's about to get a whole lot bigger. OpenAI just secured 6.6 billion US dollars in new funding, and it's a huge vote of confidence in the future of artificial intelligence. Today, in this video, we're going to break down what this deal means for NVIDIA and Microsoft stocks investors and why it is a game changer for the tech industry. So like, subscribe, and let's talk AI. This is big news for NVIDIA and Microsoft stock investors. OpenAI has completed a deal to raise 6.6 billion US dollars in new funding, and I'll discuss why this news is big news for NVIDIA and Microsoft stock investors. First, let's look at the details. According to Bloomberg, OpenAI has completed a deal to raise 6.6 billion US dollars in new funding, giving the AI company a 157 billion US dollar valuation. This is great news, especially for Microsoft stock investors, because Microsoft already owned a roughly 10 billion US dollar stake in the company before this funding round even got underway. With this new funding and an update to the valuation, Microsoft's initial investments has now increased by several $billion. But here's the part of the statement that's great news also for NVIDIA stock investors. OpenAI said it would use the cash influx to drive forward AI research and increase its computing capacity. Its computing capacity is primarily consisting of NVIDIA's GPU technology, including its Blackwell technology and Hopper technology. So, if OpenAI has an influx of 6.6 billion US dollars, you can reasonably assume that maybe a billion or more of that spending will go towards NVIDIA and purchases of NVIDIA's GPU technology to drive forward enhancements in the large language models. This is some huge news for NVIDIA and Microsoft stock investors. OpenAI has completed a deal to raise 6.6 billion US dollars in new funding, and I'll discuss why this news is big for NVIDIA and Microsoft stock investors. First, let's look at the details. According to Bloomberg, OpenAI has completed a deal to raise 6.6 billion US dollars in new funding, giving the AI company a 157 billion US dollars valuation. This is great news for Microsoft stock investors because Microsoft already owned a roughly 10 billion US dollar stake in the company before this funding round even got underway. With this new funding round and an update to the valuation, Microsoft's initial investment has now increased by several billion of dollars. But here's the part of the statement that's great news for NVIDIA stock investors. OpenAI said it would use the cash influx to drive forward AI research and increase its computing capacity. Its computing capacity is primarily consisting of NVIDIA's GPU's technology, including its Blackwell technology and Hopper technology. So, if OpenAI has an influx of 6.6 billion US dollars, you can reasonably assume that maybe a billion or more of that spending will go towards NVIDIA and purchases of NVIDIA's GPU technology to drive forward enhancements in the large language models, in the training of the large language model, and in the inferencing of the large language model. This is further evidence that the growth in investments in artificial intelligence is not slowing down. In fact, it is accelerating. Since OpenAI is a privately owned company, it doesn't have a public released financial statements. So, we get information from the company in bits and pieces. One of the big pieces of information we just got was that the company has 250 million weekly active users, according to people familiar with the matter, and it has 11 million ChatGPT Plus subscribers. These are paid members, not the free users, which include the 250 million. The business-focused service has 1 million users. With this information, we can see that the company is generating strong revenue, and that's great news for Microsoft and NVIDIA. For Microsoft, the company's cloud service agreement is with Microsoft Cloud. So every time there's an inquiry, every time the AI needs to have computing power generating in the cloud, that's Microsoft that's getting the revenue from that interaction. Additionally, if the company has this many monthly active users and paid subscribers, that means the inferencing that's happening is on NVIDIA GPU news. So that's great news for Microsoft and NVIDIA stock investors, which are now getting more evidence that the AI is real. It's not just an investing trend, that's a fad that's going to go away. When you see this magnitude of users, that means people are gaining value from the service. 11 million paid subscribers at roughly $20 per month translates into roughly 200 million bucks per month, or about 2.5 billion annually in revenue for ChatGPT. This is tangible revenue, and you can understand why spending is going to this category, because you can see significant growth here and you can see significant spending. Remember, ChatGPT only came to the scene in late 2022. So in less than 2 years, it's already amassed 250 million weekly active users. Now, interestingly, Apple did not participate in the deal, although the company was previously in talks to invest in the company. Given that the iPhone maker has a partnership now with OpenAI to integrate ChatGPT on its devices through its voice assistants, that could create an increase in the million for ChatGPT as a part of that partnership. Apple previously discussed getting a board advisor role on OpenAI's board, although those plans were dropped. Once Apple truly launches its AI integration with ChatGPT, it wouldn't be surprised if ChatGPT weekly active users surges again because of that integration. All of which is great news for both Microsoft and NVIDIA stock investors. NVIDIA stock investors have been concerned that the company's booming revenue and profitability will be short-lived, and the company's revenue and profits will drop once all of these investments in AI end. I don't think that's going to be the case. Market forecasts suggest that the investments in AI are going to continue at least until 2030, and the increases are going to be between 500 billion US dollars to 1 trillion US dollars of increased spending on artificial intelligence. So all participants in the market expect continued growth in this category, which is going to benefit NVIDIA, it's going to benefit Microsoft, and it's going to benefit people as the increase in productivity enhances people's productivity. And then they can earn higher wages because they'll be more productive. Now, there will be some disruption. Some jobs may be lost to the AI, but other jobs will be created to replace those that are displaced from the jobs that are taken by AI. Overall, productivity will improve in the economy because each business will be able to do more with its existing employee base, or it can do the same amount but with fewer employees. And so the profits will be increased, especially now that the wages are soaring and there are worker shortages. This development comes just in time for companies to capitalize on the increase, but this is great news for NVIDIA and Microsoft stock investors, to be sure. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you find it helpful, educational, please hit the like, subscribe, check the links in the description below for further educational resources. Until the next video, stay safe.